I think that the nature of ourselves is a deep, deep mystery. And even philosophers who are not in the least religious, you look at the ones who are working on the metaphysics of human beings, and there's an incredible spectrum of views about the nature of persons. Are we entirely material, made out of just physical stuff that you can find in inanimate objects? Do we persist by having instantaneous temporal parts standing in for us, one after the other? I think the nature of persons is very mysterious, and I see no reason to doubt what I regard as sort of the traditional teaching of most forms of Christianity, that human beings are not entirely made up out of this physical stuff. There's something else, something that's interacting with our brains, something that could, in principle, continue to exist. I don't see any reason to say that is naturally immortal. I should like to think that the soul, to give it its traditional name, is a part of nature in the sense that it is the natural result of a very complicated thing, a human brain, functioning in the way that it's supposed to, and that animals have souls as well. And I dislike the expression having a soul, as though I'm one thing, my soul is another thing, and it kind of comes along wherever I go. If my soul is responsible for my thinking, if it's the thing that's experiencing the world, if it's the thing that has the, as we say, qualia, has the experiential, phenomenal field that I'm aware of here, if it's the subject of that, well then it's me. I am that thing, and I'm intimately related to this body, and I require this body to do anything, and to do any thinking. But I'm the thinking thing, and if the thinking thing is an immaterial thing, well then that's what I am. Now, could that thing survive death? If it's the sort of thing that's naturally generated by brains, its normal state is to be united with a living organism. And so if it can survive, it would, I think, it would probably be by a miracle. It probably wouldn't have a natural staying power, but would have to be sustained in existence by God. But that would be an unnatural state for it. It would be maimed, essentially. And the doctrine of the resurrection is absolutely central to Christianity. And if that's what souls are like, it's very natural to suppose that God will provide the soul with a body. And in some sense, it's supposed to be this body. Now, what that could mean is very hard to say, because this body is obviously headed for disaster. It's going to fall apart. It's going to break down. So how can it be brought back again? Well, if the bits are laying around, when all things are renewed and restored, God gathering them together and reassembling them, that strikes me as something that would be perfectly appropriate. And one would naturally call it the same body. Is that really what happens? I have no idea. And if someone's at the center of a nuclear blast, are there any bits that remain? The precise identity of the parts surely isn't important. We gain and lose parts all the time. There might even be something more mysterious going on, So, for instance, at the moment of death, perhaps this living organism is given the ability to sort of generate a successor to itself somewhere else or at some other time far in the future. St. Paul makes fun of people who ask hard questions like that. So I think we can't expect to know much more than that it's possible.